final day for Bitcoin and the crypto markets as realization starts to hit. The excitement around the Bitcoin spot ETF has tumbled. It's been an anticlimax, and now markets are actually worried about the bigger macroeconomic picture. Like I've said to you guys, the excitement of the Bitcoin ETF will come and go. Speculators will come and go, but when the reality hits, markets are still focused on inflation. Yesterday we got a worrying sign on the inflation figures. Core inflation and the headline CPI inflation both surprising us to the upside, showing us that inflation is still too hot. To add to that, we now have concerns over the war in the Middle East with the US and UK hitting back at the Houthis. This is going to cause a lot of supply chain issues and a lot of issues around inflation. We've got to analyze this. We've got to see where can Bitcoin head to. You guys know I'm actively trading right now. ijazcrypto.com/TG. Not like these other influencers who pretend to have one long Bitcoin trade open on 10x leverage all year and say like, oh, look how much money I'm making. Like, no, we actively trade the markets. I actively trade the markets. I share with you guys the all-time trading. I just locked in 40% spot profit on Pendle. Already I shared with you my Arbitrum trade. I shared with you guys my Optimism trade. Fully transparent. We're actively trading. Now, right now, you are seeing Bitcoin fall here. You're falling down towards its EMA ribbon. A 3% down day today. 3.5% nearly here on the day. It's painful, right? That excitement, that vigor around the Bitcoin spot ETF was one knocked out of its sales by Gary Gensler, right? Who did not give us the launch we were hoping. He botched it. He didn't allow the excitement to come in. They had a hoax on the day before. On the day of the announcement, there was like, oh, is it live? Is it not live? We covered that all together. Created a lot of pain in this market. So we are seeing Bitcoin now call off. Now, what opportunity does this present for us? Any dip I see in the market right now here on Bitcoin, if we come towards trend, I'm personally buying. I can't tell you what to do. Do your own research. But now we are entering what is known as the post-ETF era. So if you put this ETF we got announced here, you got your pre-era, and then you got your post-era. If you're buying now in the post-era, you're buying a very, very different asset class right now. Yes, there's been some kind of FUD going on yesterday with Vanguard saying we're not ready to accept this, a few others saying we're not ready to accept the ETF trades. They'll come on and over. Don't worry about those guys. Vanguard could take a stand for a little while. It won't be long before they go, hang on, there's billions of dollars over there. We want me some. I want me some. We need some of the game. Their clients at Vanguard are going to be leaving their accounts, closing their accounts. They're going to be people, high net worth individuals, going to Vanguard. I want Bitcoin exposure. If you cannot provide it, I'm going to have to leave. Do you think they're going to keep up this stance for long? No, they're just trying to make a point. Meanwhile, BlackRock and Larry Fink continues to come strong. I've been tweeting what Larry Fink has been saying. He's been saying a lot of positive things. This man here, Larry Fink, has really been coming out. Now, of course, we're going to take it as a pinch of salt. Don't for a second think he has good intentions for crypto. He's got to make sure he's making money. He's going to make sure he's providing for his client. They're the biggest asset manager in the world, over $9 or so trillion under management. Maybe it's more right now. Like, they've got to do right by their clients. I don't think for a second he cares about the crypto ecosystem, or you and I. But while it works in our favor, we'll take the good with the good, but we understand what their real intentions are. And always remember that with TradFi. Always remember that with TradFi. As soon as the narrative doesn't support them, they'll be out. So when we're here on Bitcoin, I'm looking to buy dips, right? Well, let's be specific here because we're professionals. Where could I be looking for? As we come into the EMA ribbon, I'm happy to nibble. These are not bad price points for me, particularly post-ETF era, right? Again, what do I mean post-ETF? I'm forgetting the 15,000, right? Yes, I was nibbling at 15,500. Yes, I was nibbling lower than that in the previous cycles. But now we have to go, hang on, it's a different asset class, right? This is now an asset class where people can get into it super easily. So I'm going to have to pay a premium, right? The more easier Bitcoin gets to adopt, the more I'm going to have to pay in a premium. I'm cool with that. So now if we get pullbacks into some of these levels, I want in. I'm going to start nibbling. The deeper we get here, 43,000, I like that as a DCA entry point. Right nicely in the EMA ribbon. And then I want to see, does Bitcoin respond? Does Bitcoin respond and give us that bounce action? Is it going to do something like this? I'm all for that, right? That's what I want to look for on Bitcoin. Now, in the midst of all this worry, is there really a reason to worry? Well, look at this. This is the weekly chart. This is where we're at. And sometimes I think people just lose a little bit of perspective, right? Yes, that candlestick wicked really high. This is Bitcoin ETF week. I get it. It's still a green candle, right? We've not pulled back into our EMA ribbon ever since this breakout here when this candle took us from 27,000 up towards 30,000. We've not had a pullback into EMA ribbon. So when I look at it with the cold day of light and I look at this EMA ribbon, I'm like, hang on. This whole price action, in my opinion, could pull down all the way here to 36. I have no concerns. The very final limit is 32 here, which creates a retest of this peak and this peak, right? Retesting this is a perfect, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think we're going to get it, but if you remember this line here, right? It's perfectly fine if you want to retest it and then head on upwards. So for me, there's plenty of room here for Bitcoin to pull back, right? There's literally no problem for it to come down here, and I'll be DCAing as and when it does, if it does. If it doesn't, no problem, right? No problem. I'm locked and loaded, I'm ready to go. So for my DCA long-term positions, that's my strategy. For my trades, I'm actively trading. I've just shared another trade with our Telegram group, ijazcrypto.com/TG that I'm looking at and I want to be taking right now, okay? So these are the things I'm actively doing in the market to build profit. In December, I did over 375% spot returns. Already my last 3 trades, I've done 40%, 30%, 30% in just 3 trades, spot. Right? No leverage, no margin. And that's the thing about crypto. Everybody wants to have limiting beliefs that it doesn't work. Oh, he's a scammer. Oh, he's on leverage. And that's why I make these videos. I don't make these videos for any other reason than to show you guys it's possible. Crypto doesn't have to be a scam. It doesn't have to be degenerative. It doesn't have to be crazy risk all the time. It doesn't have to be 1,000x's. It doesn't have to be margin. It doesn't have to be leverage. It doesn't have to be your rent money, which you need at the end of the month. You can do it in a sustainable, pragmatic way with the right education. Now, of course, it's taken me over 10, 12 years to learn how to trade, but I'm teaching you guys for free. I'm producing daily content for you throughout the bear market over the last 2+ years here to help you guys gather your financial freedom. Guys, if you want that, make sure you're now Telegram, ijazcrypto.com/TG. Hope to train up to 100,000 traders this year is what I'm trying to do, guys. That's my aspiration. If you want to be one of those students, make sure you're in Telegram group. Look forward to seeing as many of you as possible. Please do not forget to watch the Bitcoin dominance here as well. You're seeing the Bitcoin dominance here coming to a very important level at CMA ribbon. It tried to bounce yesterday from its last week, from its EMA ribbon. This week has been bad now. And so the question is, are we now going to get some bounce response here from the Bitcoin dominance in the coming week? Or is the Bitcoin dominance going to try to reverse trend? So if I just show you that very quickly, is it going to make us lose the EMA ribbon here on the weekly chart? And finally, we start to get altcoin season where Ethereum and altcoins are moving more powerfully than Bitcoin. That's yet to be seen. It's too early to say that's the case, because Bitcoin can technically bounce from that EMA ribbon. If it loses that weekly EMA ribbon, then we could talk about, okay, is that it now? Is that pump of Bitcoin finished? And now is some of that money going to flow into altcoins? Because remember, everybody's searching for the next narrative. We spoke about that in the other video. People are now looking for, is there going to be an ETH ETF? Is there going to be a Solana ETF? Is there going to be an XRP ETF? But the reality is, one thing we have learned is the post-ETF world is not necessarily huge pumps. But don't get it twisted, right? This ETF news is huge. Play it out over the long run. Play it out over weeks and months and the rest of the year, and more money is going to flow into crypto. People can open up their apps where they got their stocks, they got their S&P, they got their gold, and they will see Bitcoin tickers and they can allocate towards Bitcoin. It's huge. Don't let the market tell you otherwise. I'm actively in this market, trading and investing, and you guys could, if you do your research properly, be doing the same. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.